Hi guys, today your lesson's about converting metric units of measurement. So we're going to have a look at this together. The first thing to think about is how much bigger or smaller each unit of measurement is. So I've made this little chart here to help me out. I know that grams are 1,000 times smaller than kilograms. And the same for kilograms to tons. There's 1,000 kilograms in a ton. We covered that yesterday. There are 10 millimeters in every centimetre, which means that they are 10 times smaller than centimetres. There are 100 centimetres in a metre, meaning that a centimetre is 100 times smaller than a metre, or a metre is 100 times bigger than a centimetre. Remembering the kilo meaning 1,000 from yesterday, a kilometre is 1,000 times larger than a metre. There are 1,000 metres in a kilometre. We also have millilitres and litres. There are 1,000 millilitres in each litre. So how do we work out each one? Well, as you can see, I've already put to work out from grams to kilograms, we divide the number by 1,000, and to work out kilograms to grams, we multiply by 1,000. You can see I've put all of those measurements on there. So how do we multiply and divide by 10, 100 and 1,000? I've got some equations here that I want to work out. The first one I've put there is 30 millimetres to centimetres. Now I know to work out how many millimetres I have in centimetres, I need to divide by 10. So I'm going to put the number here on my homemade place value chart. And I'm going to divide by 10. Now, when I divide, my numbers move to the right of the decimal place. As I'm dividing by 10, they're going to move once. Like this. My decimal point stayed the same. That number is now 3.0, which is the same as 3. So 30 millimetres is 3 centimetres. How about if I work out 50 metres to centimetres? Now, I know that if I'm doing metres to centimetres, I'm going to multiply by 100. So let's have a look. 50 metres, I'm going to write that here on my place value chart, that's 50.0. I'm multiplying by 100, which means my numbers are going to move to the left away from my decimal point. If I'm multiplying by 100, the numbers are going to move twice. I'm going to show you. The first time will be it multiplied by 10. Remember, I need to multiply by 100. So I'm going to do it again. And the zeros go there to hold the place. I can't just leave them blank. I'm adding in zeros each time to hold the place. So 50 metres to centimetres is 5,000 centimetres. The last one I've got on my list is 4 litres to millilitres. If I look at my chart here, I can see that to work out litres to millilitres, I'm going to times by 1,000. It's going to be a similar step to what I did the last time to working out times 100, except I'm going to need to do this one more time. To multiply or divide by 1,000, the numbers are going to move 3 times. So let's just put my place values in there. I'm working out 4 litres to millilitres. I'm timesing by 1,000, so I'm going to times by 10, 0 to hold the place, times by 100, a 0 to hold the place, and now I'm going to times by the last time, the thousands, and again the zeros there to hold the place. So the answer is 4,000 millilitres. Now I'm going to show you the reverse just so that we can check our answers, and also so you get to see these happening the other way around. So I'm going to start at the top where my first one was 3 centimetres to 30 millimetres. So let's have a look at that one. So I had 3 centimetres. To get from centimetres to millimetres, I need to times by 10. So I'm going to do 3 times 10, which means the number's going to move away from the decimal point. It's going to get larger. So I'm going to do 3 times 10 and put the decimal there, the 0 there to hold the place, sorry. I'm going to do my next one now, which was 50 metres to centimetres, and I got the answer 5,000. I'll just put that in here. Now to work out centimetres to metres, because I'm going backwards now, I need to divide by 100, which means the numbers are going to move closer towards the decimal point. What I'm going to do is do each step at a time. So first I'm going to divide by 10. So each number moves over one place. I've got an extra 0 here, so that would go the other side of the decimal point, but because it's a 0, I don't need to write it down. I have in this case. This was divided by 10. I know that I need to divide by 100, so I'm going to divide one more time. And because there's 2 zeros at the end, I don't need to write them down because they're just 0. If there was another number, I'd need to keep them as a decimal point, but the answer is 50. Let's do the last one. So I had 4,000 millilitres from 4 litres. Let's check that answer, check that works. So 4,000, here's my decimal point. To get from 4,000 millilitres to litres, I need to divide by 1,000. So I'm going to start off by doing 4,000 divided by 10. Just moving those numbers through my place value chart. Now I'm going to do 4,000 divided by 100. And lastly, by 1,000. And because these are zeros, I don't need to worry about them. The answer is 4. Now I'm just going to show you one where there would be a decimal or something in it to make it a little bit harder. So I'm going to make this one up on the spot. Let's do, imagine we've got 1.3 tons, and I want to turn that tons into kilograms. I want to find out how many kilograms is in 1.3 tons. To do that, I need to multiply by 1,000. So I'm going to multiply by 10, 100, and then 1,000. So the first time, it was easy. I just have to move each digit over. Now the 3 is there. So I'm not going to put a 0 to hold the place like I did last time, because I need to move this 3 over. And now I'm going to multiply by 100. And now the 0 holds the place because I've got nothing else this side of the number. And to multiply by 1,000. So in 1.3 tons, there's 1,300 kilograms. If you get stuck on this, I suggest you do exactly what I've done with the place value chart. You can use this chart for reference to remind you which way to, how many of each unit is inside each unit. Remember, if we're multiplying, the numbers are going this way, and if we're dividing, the numbers are going this way. Hope that helps. Good luck with the maths.